Hey there, you curious mind. Always looking to connect the dots and learn something new without getting, bogged down.
Uh-huh.
Perfect. You've landed in the right place.
Uh-huh.
Today we're diving deep into something truly grounding, nature journaling.
That sounds good.
Think about those moments when you're out in the world and nature just stops you in your tracks, the way sunlight filters through the trees, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Or like the unexpected flash of color from a bird, or even just the scent of rain on dry earth. Those moments.
Exactly. We're going to explore how intentionally capturing these moments can fundamentally shift how you experience and appreciate the natural world around you.
Right. And we'll be drawing on insights from looking at tools designed for this, like the journal notebook for nature lovers Stallion.
Yeah, using that as a bit of a guide to understand how a thoughtfully designed journal can become like an indispensable companion for your outdoor explorations.
Mm.
Okay, let's unpack this. It's about so much more than just, writing down what you see.
It really is. It's about tapping into that deep-seated human instinct to observe, to record, and, well, to find our place within the larger patterns of the world.
That makes sense.
And for those of us drawn to nature, those encounters often resonate on a very personal level. Consider that rush of excitement when you finally identify a new wildflower, maybe.
Oh, definitely. Or the peacefulness you feel watching a river flow.
Exactly. Nature journaling, and our source touches on this beautifully, it's a way to not only hold on to those memories, but to actively cultivate a richer connection with the natural world.
Whether you're into challenging hikes
Yeah.
or just quiet bird watching.
Yeah, or even simply noticing the subtle changes in your own backyard. It's really about that meaningful dialogue between you and the natural world.
Exactly. And it's fascinating because the actual act of journaling, of putting your observations and feelings onto the page, it actually changes how you perceive things, doesn't it?
It really
The
does.
source material kind of hints at this shift, where you move from being just a passive observer to someone actively engaging with your surroundings.
Like you're entering into a conversation with nature itself.
Yeah. Paying closer attention, noticing nuances you might have previously just overlooked.
Mm-hmm. And this active engagement, according to our source, can really spark your creativity and bring a deeper sense of mindfulness to your outdoor experiences.
Mindfulness is a big one there.
Absolutely. And if we broaden our view a bit, a nature journal evolves into a really valuable personal archive, too.
Okay, how so?
Well, the source emphasizes how it becomes a record of your own growth, both as an observer and as someone who appreciates the natural world.
Ah, so you can track things.
Right. You can track when you first saw a particular insect, or maybe how the foliage in your favorite spot changes from season to season.
Oh, I like that. Imagine looking back years from now at your early entries.
Exactly. It's like a tangible timeline of your evolving relationship with nature, marking both the big events and the subtle shifts.
Now, our source material, the insights from the Listallion Journal info, it isn't just talking about any old notepad, right?
No, not at all.
It highlights some specific design choices that seem particularly well suited for this kind of deep engagement with nature.
Yeah, like the paper itself.
For instance, it mentions the 211 pages of 120 GSM thick paper. Now, for those who aren't, paper aficionados,
Yeah.
what does that really mean?
It basically means durability. It's thick stuff. It's not flimsy paper that's going to like fall apart in your backpack.
Or bleed through if you use a pen with decent ink flow or want to do a quick sketch.
Exactly. It's built to last, which is pretty crucial for something you're taking outdoors.
That robustness seems key. I mean, if it's meant to be taken out into the elements.
It has to be robust. And what's interesting is how that seemingly practical aspect, sturdy paper and the soft yet protective faux leather cover, that's also mentioned how that directly supports the habit of consistent journaling.
How do you mean?
Well, you're far more likely to actually bring it along on all your adventures, big or small, when you don't have to constantly worry about it getting damaged, by a bit of moisture or just the rough and tumble of being outdoors.
Right, it becomes a reliable partner, something you can count on.
Precisely.
And speaking of being a reliable partner, the source points out some other thoughtful features in these Listallion journals, like numbered pages and a table of contents. Initially, you might think, do I really need that for jotting down nature observations? But actually,
Think about it. If you're serious about tracking specific natural events, maybe you're following the migration patterns of butterflies, like you said.
or documenting the different stages of a particular plant's growth throughout the year.
Yeah. Having that built-in organizational structure can be incredibly helpful for referencing past entries and actually seeing those patterns emerge over time. It's not just random notes anymore.
Right. It elevates it beyond just a collection of musings.
Yeah.
It becomes a genuine log.
It does. And the source also highlights the smooth, ivory-colored pages as being ideal for sketching.
Alongside the lines, right? The 7.5 millimeter wide lines for people who prefer structure for writing.
Exactly. It really acknowledges that nature journaling is often a multisensory experience. Visual documentation can be just as important as, written descriptions.
And what about that little back pocket?
Oh, yeah, the back pocket for
Yeah.
tucking away a pressed flower or maybe a quick sketch you did on a loose piece of paper. That's a wonderful detail. It literally connects those tangible pieces of nature with your written reflections right there in the journal.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They say, features tell, but stories really sell the idea, right?
True.
And thinking about how these features come to life, it reminds me of a friend, let's call him Alex. He always loved being outdoors, but felt like his experiences were just fleeting.
Yeah.
He'd go on these amazing hikes, see incredible things, but a week later it was all just a pleasant blur.
I know that feeling.
Then Alex started using one of these Listalian journals and those numbered pages. They became his own personal tracking system.
Interesting.
He started noting the first sighting of a specific migrating bird in his local park each spring. Just a simple observation.
Okay.
But over a few years, those individual entries transformed into this ongoing narrative about the changing seasons and the return of this particular bird. It became a story he wouldn't have pieced together without that simple act of consistent journaling in a structured way.
Wow, that's a fantastic example. It really shows how those features, like numbered pages, move from just being specifications on a list to becoming, well, integral to the actual experience itself.
Totally. It facilitated a deeper longitudinal understanding for him.
It really did. And that reminds me actually of my cousin, not really a writer, but loves camping.
Right.
One year, we were on a trip, and a sudden downpour trapped us in our tent for a bit. Instead of just staring at the nylon walls, she pulled out her Listalian journal.
What did she usually use it for?
Mostly quick sketches, leaves, interesting fungi, that sort of thing. But that day, stuck in the tent, she started writing.
About what?
About a deer she'd seen earlier by the river. She described the way it moved, the dappled sunlight on its coat, just the whole feeling of the moment. And the thing is, the durable cover of the journal actually got a bit damp from the rain seeping in, but it protected her reflections inside.
The durability aspect again.
Exactly. And later, she told me that rereading that entry brought her right back to that peaceful moment by the river, even more vividly than just trying to recall the memory. The fact that the journal itself held up against the elements, well, that almost became part of the story for her.
That really speaks to the value of having a reliable tool, doesn't it? One that can withstand the conditions you're likely to encounter. It just removes a barrier to engagement.
It does. It lets you focus on the experience, not worry about your gear.
Now, nature journaling isn't just about meticulous recording, is it? The source material touches on how it really becomes a creative outlet.
Oh, definitely. It's a space where you can combine your written thoughts with drawings, maybe quick sketches, or even, like we said, press that interesting leaf you found.
It's this beautiful blend of observation and personal expression.
Exactly. And it's wonderfully liberating because, well, there are no set rules. It's your personal space to reflect, to create, to respond to what you're seeing and feeling.
Without any pressure to be technically accurate or, artistically perfect.
Right. That heightened sensory awareness you often experience in nature, noticing the intricate details of a flower, the texture of tree bark, the way sunlight plays on a surface, it naturally lends itself to wanting to document those details.
In whatever way feels most authentic to you.
Mm-hmm. And a journal that's designed to accommodate both writing and sketching, like the Listalian does with its paper quality and layout, it really supports that fluidity of expression.
The source material also shares this story about Emma, a young artist from Portland.
Ah, yes, Emma's story.
She found that nature journaling with her Listalian journal became this incredible anchor for her. Living a busy city life, she initially struggled to really connect with her emotions and, well, understand the world around her.
Which is common, unfortunately.
Yeah. But through her journal, she found a way to tap into those feelings by observing and documenting the natural world. She started noticing these subtle patterns in nature she'd previously overlooked.
And the journal became like a sanctuary for her.
Exactly. A place where she could unwind and reflect. And the source emphasizes how the journal's high-quality pages were perfect for both her sketches and her written observations.
And the organization helped too.
Yeah, the organizational features helped her track her growth as both a writer and an artist, really fostering a sense of mindfulness in her daily life.
Emma's experience really underscores how nature journaling can be such a powerful tool for self-discovery and emotional connection, especially in our, increasingly fast-paced and often disconnected modern lives.
It highlights that therapeutic aspect of just slowing down, observing, and engaging deliberately.
Totally.
So if someone's thinking about diving into nature journaling, the source offers some really practical tips, doesn't it?
It does, and it's interesting how these tips really align with the features of a journal like the Listallion we've been discussing.
Okay, like what?
Well, they suggest setting a purpose. Are you focusing on birds today, plants, or maybe just your personal reflections?
And how does the journal help with that?
The organized structure, those numbered pages, the table of contents can actually help you maintain that focus and easily find related entries later on.
Ah, so it encourages a more intentional approach. You're not just aimlessly scribbling.
Exactly. You're building a structured record based on your interests.
Okay, what's another tip?
Be consistent, even if it's just a quick entry after a short walk.
And here, the durability of the Listellian journal really shines again, right?
Right.
Knowing it can handle being tossed in your bag makes it much easier to make it a consistent companion.
Right. It removes that mental hurdle of worrying about damaging some delicate notebook. It's designed to actually be used.
Makes sense. What else?
The source also suggests using prompts if you're feeling stuck for ideas.
Okay, but the journal doesn't come with prompts.
No, but the lined pages offer a natural structure for responding to any prompts you might find elsewhere or even create for yourself. That inherent structure can be surprisingly helpful, especially when you're just starting out.
Gotcha. And creativity.
Of course, incorporating creativity is key: sketches, collected items, whatever feels right. And those smooth, thick pages of the Listallion are ideal for sketching without bleed-through.
And the back pocket for tucking away those little natural treasures.
Yep. It's that thoughtful combination of features that truly supports a multifaceted approach, encouraging you to engage with nature holistically.
And finally, reflection.
Yes, the source emphasizes reflecting on your journey, looking back at past entries, seeing how your observations and understanding have evolved.
And this is where those numbered pages and the table of contents become invaluable again, making it easy to revisit earlier entries and track your personal growth as a nature observer.
Absolutely. That ability to easily review adds such a powerful dimension. You can identify patterns, notice changes over time, and truly appreciate your own development.
Now, beyond just documenting what you see, the source touches on the really significant psychological benefits too.
We already know spending time in nature is fantastic for mental well-being, lowers stress, boosts mood.
But when you layer on the active engagement of nature journaling, it seems to deepen that emotional connection, right?
It really does. You're not just passively present, you're actively interacting with and reflecting on your experience.
So it encourages mindfulness.
Definitely. The source highlights how focusing on sensory details and recording your responses can be incredibly grounding. It can reduce anxiety, promote relaxation.
And in that context, a well-made journal like the Listallion, with its quality feel and durability, it becomes more than just a notebook.
It becomes a tangible part of that self-care practice,
Yeah.
a consistent, reliable space for your reflections. The thick paper almost gives your thoughts and observations a sense of, permanence and importance.
Yeah, I can see that. And ultimately, as the source emphasizes, nature journaling is really all about sharpening your observation skills, isn't it?
Fundamentally, yes. When you know you're going to be describing or sketching something, you naturally start paying much closer attention to the details.
Like the intricate pattern on a leaf or the specific call of a bird or subtle shifts in light.
Exactly. It's like your senses become super tuned. The act of translating your sensory experiences into words or images forces you to really see, really hear, really feel what's happening around you.
You start noticing nuances and patterns that might have just washed over you before.
Precisely. And with a journal that provides ample space for these detailed observations, like the 211 pages in the Listallion,
And a binding that can withstand long-term use.
you're building this incredibly rich and detailed personal record of the natural world and your unique perspective on it.
So to kind of bring it all together then, this deep dive into our source material really reveals that a nature journal, especially one designed with the thoughtfulness and features like the Listallion, is just so much more than paper bound together.
It really is.
It's a powerful catalyst for deepening your connection with the natural world, for unlocking your creativity, and honestly, for genuinely enhancing your overall well-being.
It's not just about recording what you see.
No, it's about cultivating profound personal insights, documenting your own growth as an observer, and fostering a richer, more meaningful appreciation for the incredible natural world that surrounds us every single day.
Which really invites you, the listener, to consider. What aspects of the natural world truly captivate your attention? What are those details, those fleeting moments that really resonate with you?
Hmm.
Think about how the practice of intentionally documenting those specific experiences, the textures you feel, the sounds you hear, maybe the emotions they stir within you, how that might further enrich your understanding and deepen your connection.
Perhaps it could even spark a completely new awareness.
Yeah. An awareness of the subtle, ongoing stories that are unfolding all around you, all the time. Consider how that simple act of physically recording your observations, in your own handwriting, might lead you to notice details you've always been surrounded by but have never truly consciously seen before.